There's a moment most women don't notice until they catch it in a photo. The long hair you've kept for decades, the length that always felt like the safe choice, has quietly started doing the opposite of what you want. It's pulling your face down, flattening your crown, throwing a spotlight on the very things you'd rather soften. By late 2026, stylists have 7 answers to that problem, and not one of them means losing yourself. Before the first, tap subscribe if hair that lifts your whole face sounds worth staying for. Number 1. The soft, layered low bob. Think of it as the gentlest possible goodbye to long hair, because it doesn't ask you to give up much at all. It sits right at the collarbone, long enough to still pull back into a small clip on a bad morning, short enough that all that dragging weight below your ribs is simply gone. And that weight is the real culprit. When hair hangs past the ribs on a mature head, it has nothing inside to hold it up, so it goes limp and lifeless and drags the whole face along with it. The low bob fixes that from the inside out. A stylist removes weight from within the hair itself, a quiet technique called internal texturizing, so the outer perimeter stays soft and fluid while the bulk underneath disappears. The result moves. It bounces a little when you walk, the way hair did when you were 30. For the finish, the better salons reach for a tool like the GHD Duet Blow Dry, or even a small straightener to bend the very ends under or flick them outward. That little flick is doing real work, channeling a kind of 90s supermodel volume without one drop of the stiff, sprayed feeling that ages a style instantly. The collarbone length is no accident either. It creates a horizontal line that acts as a counterweight against a sharp or heavy jaw, balancing the proportions of the lower face so nothing looks pulled down. Where it asks something of you is the calendar. That soft perimeter only stays soft when it's maintained, which means a trim every 6 to 8 weeks. Skip a couple, and the shape grows heavy at the bottom again, and you've quietly drifted right back toward the look you left. Keep to it, though, and this is the easiest win on the entire list. If the low bob is the cautious first step, this next one is for the woman who's done being cautious. Number 2, the trixie cut. The name is new, but the idea behind it is a real leap in how short hair is built. Picture the cooler, messier cousin of the classic pixie. Where the old pixie could read severe, almost masculine, with its hard, clean lines, the trixie throws that out for wispy, irregular edges and a soft, lived-in perimeter that looks like you woke up with it. It's a pixie and a bob crossed together, and the whole point of the build is height. Short, choppy layers are cut so they stand up at the crown with almost no effort. And that vertical lift does something a long style simply cannot. It pulls the eye upward, toward your cheekbones and your eyes, instead of letting it slide down toward the neck. For fine or thinning hair, that upward draw is close to magic. Those multi-directional layers fall over each other and hide the sparse patches, building the optical illusion of dense, thick growth where the real density has thinned out. Zendaya is the name that pushed this one into the spotlight, and she shows off its best feature on red carpets, the way it shifts from a sleek, wet look to an airy, tousled finish in under 3 minutes. That speed is part of the appeal at any age. But be honest with yourself before you commit, because the trixie keeps its shape through frequent visits, a trim every 4 to 6 weeks. That's the trade for cropping this short. The cut lives or dies on its precise edges, and edges grow out fast. Let it go too long, and the clever, wispy shape sags into something shapeless. The crown height collapses, and the lift that sold you on it disappears. For the woman who likes a standing salon appointment, and wants maximum impact for minimum daily fuss, nothing else here comes close. Now we cross an ocean. Number 3 is the Korean hush cut, born in the avant-garde salons of Seoul and now firmly planted as the lightweight answer to heavy, long hair. Everything about it is built around the feeling of weightlessness. Soft, blended layers and whisper-thin face-framing pieces spread the weight so evenly across your head that the hair barely registers when you toss it. If you remember the wolf cut a few years back, with its aggressive, disconnected, rebellious chunks, the hush is its grown-up descendant. Same family, but the harsh lines are gone, melted into a fluid, elegant transition that flatters a face at any age. What earns the hush its devoted following is how it handles a problem nobody warns you about, the way hair changes after 40. Dry strands, wiry greys, a texture that won't behave the way it used to. A rigid, structured cut fights that texture and loses every time. The hush does the opposite. Its wispy layers work along the natural flow of your hair, so it simply air dries into a bouncy, tousled shape instead of demanding heat and product to look intentional. Then there's the fringe, long and wispy, cut to skim the eyelashes. That single detail opens up the whole area around the eyes and cheekbones, softening the features and handing back a breezy, youthful kind of vitality. Of everything on this list, the hush asks the least of your time, holding its shape for 8 to 10 weeks between trims, which makes it a favourite for women who'd rather not think about their hair at all. The honest part is that the hush rewards the right texture and quietly punishes the wrong one. On hair with some natural wave or body, it falls into place on its own. On stick-straight, fine hair with no movement of its own, those same wispy layers can read as thin and stringy rather than soft, and you'll find yourself coaxing texture in that the cut was supposed to provide for free. Bring it a little natural movement, though, and it gives back more ease than almost anything else here. Let's talk about the cut that's been quietly winning the internet. Number 4, the butterfly bob, the love child of the jaw-length bob and the big, voluminous butterfly cut. And the result has been one of the most searched haircuts of the year. The whole personality of this style lives in its layers. A traditional bob ends in one blunt, rigid line across the bottom. The butterfly bob refuses that. Instead, it's built in tiers, graduated layers that stack on top of one another to create a light, fluttering buoyancy all around the face. Weight comes off the edges on purpose. And once it's gone, the hair flicks naturally away from the cheekbones, which is exactly where the butterfly comparison comes from, those layers lifting and parting like wings. There's a particular group of women this cut was practically designed for, and that's anyone with texture. Curly, coily, naturally textured hair has spent years being either flattened or shaped into that dreaded heavy triangle, wide at the bottom and tight at the top. The tiered layering solves it. The curls stack and hold their bounce instead of expanding outward into that triangular bulk, so the shape stays rounded and light. If your hair is straight or fine, the volume has to be built rather than released, and the stylists have a method for that too. They rough blow-dry with a texturizing root spray, then park a few Velcro rollers at the crown for a while to set a red carpet lift that holds through a long day. That same fine-haired wearer should understand the bargain, though. The lift is set, not grown, which means it loosens as the hours pass and softens further the moment any humidity finds it. By evening, you may be looking at flatter, gentler waves than the ones you walked out with. On its natural home of curls and coils, this is a transformation. On fine, straight hair, It's a beautiful morning that asks to be redone. With a trim holding the tiers in shape every 6 to 8 weeks, either version stays sharp. For the women writing in already, the ones who love their length and have no intention of parting with it, the next two are written for you. Number 5. The waterfall wolf cut, a way to keep real length while finally fixing the movement and density that long hair loses with age. It marries two ideas. The strategic sectioning of a wolf cut gives you shape and lift, while the cascading layers of a waterfall cut keep everything soft and flowing. The old, disconnected shags had a fatal flaw, leaving the ends sparse and stringy, the exact stringy perimeter that ages long hair in the first place. The waterfall technique never lets that happen, because every layer stays connected to the next, building a soft, rounded V or an upside-down teardrop down the back. The craft behind it is genuinely precise. A stylist pulls your hair forward in split sections and point cuts vertically, holding the shears at a 45-degree angle, lining the blades up with the natural fall of each strand. That angle is what softens the baseline and feeds movement up through the lengths. The proof is in something stylists call the ponytail test. Tie this cut back, and there's no heavy bulk gathered at the top, and no thin, wispy disappointment at the bottom. Just a clean, tapered teardrop, full where it should be full and tidy where it should taper. Hailey Bieber put waterfall layers in front of millions, and her version cemented this as the modern way to get effortless, beachy movement out of long hair. Where it tests your patience is in the upkeep of all that fine layering. The cut holds for 8 to 10 weeks, which sounds forgiving, but the vertical point cutting is detailed enough that a rushed or inexperienced stylist can leave you with layers that fall wrong and sit flat instead of cascading. This is not a cut to gamble on with someone new to it. Bring it to hands that know the technique, and it's the closest thing on this list to keeping your old length while shedding everything that made it look tired. Number 6 belongs to anyone whose hair has gone flat, fine, or thin and stayed that way. The curve cut, the C cut for short, is a quietly sophisticated update on the face framing layers everyone wore in the 90s, stripped down to something far more refined. Its whole shape is a soft letter C. Graduated, seamless layers curve gently inward, cupping the cheekbones, then the jawline, then the collarbone, drawing one continuous gentle line down the side of your face. To get there, a stylist uses slide cutting, gliding the shears at a precise angle through the bottom of each section to blur the baseline completely, because a hard, blunt line at the bottom is one of the quiet things that reads as aging. What makes this cut clever for thin or flat hair is a small contradiction. By bending those graduated layers inward, the cut builds a sense of real weight and thickness along the perimeter, while still lifting the hair up at the root. You get fullness at the ends and height at the crown at the same time, which is exactly the combination thinning hair loses. To bring the inward curve to life, stylists work a lightweight root booster or a styling cream into damp hair, something like Jisoo honey-infused styling cream, then rough dry it over a large round brush to coax the ends to cup the face. It flatters a wide range of faces, oval, round, and square alike, because the curved layers soften any angular feature and pull attention up toward the eyes. Jennifer Aniston is the name that made it go viral, which tells you how mainstream this once niche shape has become. The catch hides in that very precision. The C only works while the layers stay exactly where the slide cut placed them, and as they grow, the curve loosens and the seamless shape blurs into ordinary layers. You're looking at a trim every 6 to 8 weeks to hold the effect, and it genuinely needs a stylist who's comfortable with slide cutting, because done heavily or clumsily, it thins the ends out rather than curving them. Asked for well and maintained, it's the most refined frame on this list, which leaves the one for the woman who wants modern movement with almost no rules. Number 7. The soft, grown-out shag, sometimes called shag light. The aggressive, chopped-up shags and mullets of recent seasons have calmed all the way down into this. Where those cuts stood out in harsh, distinct tiers, the grown-out shag melts its layers together. Longer, blended pieces flow into one another instead of announcing themselves, so the whole thing reads as soft rather than spiky. It's built to grow with your hair instead of fighting it, which makes it about as low maintenance and air-dry friendly as a layered cut can be. The structure comes from two things working together: soft curtain bangs parting gently at the front and elongated face-framing layers running down the sides. The same combination Cara Delevingne has worn to such effect. Those layers are cut at deliberately varied lengths, so the hair never piles up heavy at the shoulders, which leaves room for your natural waves or curls to clump together and move freely. The energy it gives off is lived in and a little rebellious, modern and young, the complete opposite of the stiff, over-styled long hair so many women are trying to leave behind. Best of all for a busy life, it holds its shape longer than anything else here, stretching 10 to 12 weeks between trims. The thing to know going in is that the grown-out shag is honest about your hair's nature, for better and for worse. On wavy, curly or coarse hair, it's a gift, because all that built-in movement gives the blended layers something to do. On poker straight fine hair with no wave of its own, those same soft layers can simply hang there, flat and shapeless, with none of the tousled life the cut promises, and you'll be reaching for a curling iron to fake what it was supposed to give you. Match it to hair that already moves, and it may be the easiest, most forgiving style a mature woman can wear. Look back across all 7, and you'll see they were never really about length at all. Every one of them does the same quiet thing in a different way. It takes weight off the bottom of your face and puts lift back at the top, reversing the exact downward pull that long hair starts working against you over time. That's the whole shift. The women who look modern at 60 and 70 and 80 aren't holding on to more hair. They've learned to point the eye upward instead of letting gravity have its way. You don't need younger hair to look it. You need hair that lifts. If a face that looks lighter and brighter is what you're after, subscribe and come find the next one with me.